Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the SEA Wheels podcast, and Happy New Year's to everybody. How was your New Year's, Julian?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. A bit late, but yeah.
It was quite good.
Yeah? What'd you get up
It
to?
was quite good. Away from cars, just relaxed family time actually.
Yep.
Just in the north of Thailand where it's nice and fresh, 18 in the morning, 17, and then like no more than 25, 26 in the afternoon. So it's perfect. Perfect family time that was good for, to close the year, recharge the batteries and get ready for in 2023.
Yeah, 2023 is going to be quite crazy.
Yeah.
We still have a lot of residual international crap that I think the world is dealing with, so that's going to be quite interesting to see how we pull through that.
Yeah, I think economically it's going to be a big reset as well.
Yeah.
Let's see how that will impact the car world.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting, but yeah. So my New Year's was okay. Went to Bali. Nothing new there. I've done New Year's Eve in Bali for.
Oh yeah, sorry. How was yours?
It was good and bad in the sense that Bali, all the Australians finally can get out of their country now. It's no longer a prison colony for now. And they were all shocked at how expensive it was. And it was just like, well, earn more money. They go there for a cheap holiday, and it's just like, sorry, it's not cheap anymore.
So you did mention, offline that prices did increase, but I think, the Australian dollar going down the toilet as well is probably not.
No.
Because it did no? Did it? How did it hold its value?
It's not going well, but it is,
still on par with the Indonesian rupiah.
Yeah, I think it's they've always sort of hovered around the same. Like 1 million rupiah is about 100 Australian dollars.
Okay.
And it sort of dips and rises, but it's roughly around that area. So, but yeah, it's sort of like people were surprised at how expensive some of these places were, and it's just like I'm not a big electronic music fan, but at least I know, names like Diplo, Elderbrock, Gorgon City, names like that. What do you think you're going to go there for cheap and then get bottle service for cheap as well? Like, come on, man. What did you expect? So, it's,
True.
but let's put it this way. Australians, back in the day when I was living there, people were complaining that you had to pay $300 for a festival ticket for a 3-day pass. And I'm like, bro, they'll complain about that. They were expecting to go to a festival for $100 for 3 days. And then it's like, come on, you're going to one of the biggest beach clubs in Indonesia, and you're going to complain that you've got international DJs coming in and they want money. You're like, what do you expect?
That's kind of against the Well, yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I guess people are now have to get used to pay for service again.
Yeah. And it was really funny. It's a lot of these big clubs. Hey, Alex, how are you? Happy New Year.
Eric says hello.
Hello, Ellie.
Hello, Eric.
That's good to see him again. Where's he been? Swimming?
Yeah. He was at a birthday party and they went swimming.
Oh, okay.
He's all
nice.
Actually, he's all wet.
He's got a new toy with him now.
Yeah.
Let's see where we find that stuck to next.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, yeah, so people will have to get, used to paying for service again, I was just watching that video this week, Shmi, who picked up his what is that new one, the new Lotus that he just got?
The Emira.
Emira, the Emira, and it's just something that stuck with me. It's like you can get free delivery at home or to your dealership.
Or you pick it up as well.
But you pick it up, and is actually an option you need to pay for.
Yeah.
And it's about 200 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm like, why would it be more expensive to pick it up cost-wise than to actually ship it somewhere, especially given the cost of logistics these days?
Yeah, you know what I think it is? I think it's actually because, because they have to actually prep the showroom or whatever it is, the factory. They have to prep it with somebody that's going to basically stand there and talk to you for however long about whatever you want, walk you through the car. They have to do the presentation with all the sheets and everything and provide you with probably booze or some shit like that. And I figure that it's like an experience cost as opposed to, hey, how you doing? Here's your key. Your car's there. Please don't hit anything on the way out. I mean, it's not necessarily going to be like that, is it?
No,
Yeah,
never.
you know.
But I do like the car.
I do too. I like it as well.
I would go this instead of Alpine actually.
Yeah, I mean, I think I like the interior. I like the fighter pilot switchgear stuff inside. I think that's quite cool.
Yes.
But I
Yes.
think the Emira is a little bit more modern inside. But the question is, would you go the V6 manual or would you go the AMG engine flappy paddle machine?
Oh, I didn't know that was a choice.
Right.
What's the difference between the two? Can
So
you,
one's I haven't got the stats in front of me. One's got a V6 like the what was the
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. The first edition.
yeah,
Right?
the Toyota
That's the one. Shmi
yeah,
has.
the Toyota's a supercharged V6 with a manual transmission. Or you can wait a little bit and get the 4-cylinder AMG engine. So it's got the
V6.
no
V6.
no it's a 4-cylinder. So it's got the AMG.
Yeah. No, I'll go V6. That's
Okay,
what I mean.
yeah. See, that's a hard question because I want I want the manual driving experience and the supercharger and everything like that. But then I'm also thinking there were times when I wanted to kill myself with a manual transmission.
Yeah, in traffic it's not so nice, but if I were to buy one Lotus like this, I would actually buy it in Europe. So manual transmission would make sense there.
Yeah.
If you're stuck in the traffic of Jakarta or Bangkok, yes, it's a hassle.
It is.
You know, I do have a manual here. I enjoy driving it. The clutch is quite soft as well. It's okay. So it's quite comfortable. But you know, I got the Mustang in auto here.
Yeah. I can.
Because it just makes more sense.
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean.
It's not a question of performance or speed or anything like this. It's a question of comfort.
Yeah.
You know, when you're bumper to bumper traffic, you know, actually you could argue why did you buy a Mustang in the first
Yeah.
place? But yeah.
You know why you bought a Mustang in the first place? It's for those moments where you can use it, you know, and it puts a smile on
the
your
gaps.
face. And you know the thing is, like, you know, there's something to be said about, you know, people that you know how they say if you don't turn around and look at your car after you parked it, you bought the wrong car.
Yeah.
There's something to be said for that. There's an air of truth. If you don't look back and you're not happy with it, and definitely something.
That car has never seen my back.
Yeah.
I go back, you know.
Yeah.
I face it and walk backward to the elevator.
So something like that is definitely there's a lot to be said for that, you know. So and you know, are you going to get that experience from something like a white good? Probably not. You know, you might if you've really, you know, worked for it and felt like you achieved for it, but it fades quickly because everyone's got the same thing, you know.
Yeah, and that's why, I mean, I think we discussed it already last time, right? Well, I did send you the question just before flying to Chiang Mai in the north of Thailand for New Year. I like the Mustang, and you know I love the 911. And actually, you know, I mean, even though it's a bit of a gap, I would have chosen to go for the 911. The thing is, and I just went actually to Pattaya to just play golf with a friend of
so
mine.
you're playing golf now?
Please start the insults in the comments below.
I'm going to tell you one thing. I've had the same thoughts recently. I'm like, maybe I should play golf.
It's actually a lot of fun. Anyway, so went with a friend of mine down south to Pattaya, and it's an hour and a half drive with the Mustang, and I absolutely loved it. And they were, you know, while we were there to actually get to the golf, you know, there were a few winding roads, and that was extremely satisfying. And I was just thinking, with the 911, I wouldn't have as much fun as I do with the Mustang, because it's so you just need to get a lot faster to have
Yeah.
fun. Whereas the Mustang, you've got that experience, you've got the noise first of all, just the noise, and then it's just tail happy all the time because it's got traction control, but it's not as precise or surgical as a 911 can
Yeah.
be. And so I would have to go a lot faster with a 911, which is not something you can really do here, even on open
Yeah.
roads.
Okay.
We got dogs everywhere and everything. So even at let's say anywhere between 70 to 80 kilometers per
Yeah.
hour, you still have a bit of
Yeah.
fun. I don't think with a 911 you would get the same experience. So anyway, the question that I was asking you is which Ferrari to get, because I think the next one, instead of a 911 that everybody has here in about 3 to 4 years, is going to be a Ferrari.
Yeah. Okay.
Has to be a Ferrari. It has to be a two-seater Ferrari as well, because I showed the GTC4 Lusso to my wife, and she's like, "Nah, not this."
But the Roma's nice.
And
Oh,
I'm
wait,
like, yeah, but
you need
what
something
about
with a
if we
bit of age
go?
on it, right?
Yeah. I'm not gonna buy something brand new
Yeah.
here because everything is 1.5 million USD
Yeah, okay.
otherwise.
I
Um,
don't know.
and the thing is, yeah, she prefers those really sports car. Not that the GTC4 Lusso isn't a sports car, but you know what I mean,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
The two-seater sort of type. And I'm like, yeah, but what about if we go on the road trip? We're three, how are we? She's like, it's okay, we take two cars. Okay.
I don't know. A 488 sounds good.
Yeah, 488 is what I have in mind. It's about 20. It's about a million Australian.
Yeah, because I was looking at the 458, and I quite like the front,
I love
but
the
the
488.
rear of the 488 is just nicer. And I'm just
Yes.
like, I think as a package overall, the 488 is nicer. And the 458 is just basically a refresh of the 488. So, sorry, of the 458. So
Yeah,
it's
the other
so
way
you're
around
gonna
it.
get just that incremental betterness of the car. So I think that might be the better option there.
Whether it be performance or interior, yeah.
And realistically, you might even find something that still has warranty on it, because Ferrari thinks it's Hyundai these days and offers like 5-year warranty.
Yeah, Hyundai is now at 10 years, aren't they?
Something ridiculous like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
But
it's gonna be lifetime warranty.
something that was funny that happened just before New Year's Eve is we started a TikTok account. Well, I did. And I thought I'm just gonna start making like 30-second car reviews, and I've got some more coming out in the coming days and whatnot. And I did one which on the Porsche, the GT3 RS, which I'm not sure if it's actually released yet, but there's enough information on it that you can do a review on it. So I did that, but I started off the review saying, this is Indonesia's best-selling car, which is the Toyota Avanza, which is like this little MPV. And I managed to piss off all of Indonesia.
How's that?
Because all the other clips were going like, here's 500 views, here's 1,000 views, blah, blah, blah. I uploaded this one, 50,000 views, and like, how many? Let me see what we're at now. It's like 50,000 views. And for anyone that's interested, you can have a look at our YouTube channel because I upload them there as well. 50,000 views on this freaking thing. 5,000 people liked it. 400 people have commented at me angry, going, "Hey, you can't drive a Porsche GT3 in Jakarta and blah blah blah," and all this. And they think I'm just some foreigner that doesn't live here. So I started responding to people in Indonesian because I can type in Indonesian, and people are like, "What the fuck?" And I'm just like, this is hilarious. I need to do more things that piss off people because they're just like, "Oh, what makes you think we can afford this?" I'm like, bro, it's a car review channel. I'm allowed to talk about whatever the fuck I want. And it's just like, but you know what it is? It's kids getting pissed off that I made fun of their dad's car. But But it's like I started.
That is.
It's like I started World War III. And the funny thing is, there's some young influencer as well that actually reached out. And he's affiliated with this thing called Auto 88 in Indonesia, which is like a prestige car dealership, just a bit north of where I live. And they specialize mostly in like prestige BMWs, but they have Porsches and Ferraris and stuff like that. And he goes, "Bro, we should do a collab. Let's He goes, if you need cars, let me know. We'll sort cars out for you." I'm like,
I'm like,
all right. All I did was make fun of you, and he's offering cars. So I'm like, that's a lot of fun. I should do something like that and upload it to our channel, just for a bit of fun.
Yeah, we should.
So I thought that was quite interesting.
We should.
But it's so funny because like, Raisha tries to start a TikTok all the time because she's got like a huge following on Instagram, like 100,000 plus followers. And then on TikTok, she posts one thing, and every time she starts an account, they just immediately ban her or like take down content. Because they're like, "Oh, you're soliciting sex," and she's like, "No, I'm not." It's like, it's literally a video of me making noodles or some shit, and it's like, and it's like, because she's got obviously like implants and stuff like that, so they immediately think it's like an OnlyFans girl, and she's like, "No, bro, I'm literally just starting at TikTok, and you're banning me every time I upload."
But what about starting an OnlyFans then?
Yeah, well, that would be interesting, except in Indonesia you get arrested and thrown in jail for porn. Yeah,
that's right.
So
yeah.
It's just one of those things. Even though like the reality is they don't actually do anything about it. There's some actually really big OnlyFans creators based out of Indonesia. Both Indonesian and foreign girls. And they're posting on here, and nobody's doing anything about it. It's the other thing is it's like, prove I made it here as well. That's the other thing. But it's sort of like, why take the risk? We've got real shit to do in our lives, not just have a bit of fun modeling and whatnot.
But you did, we were talking about this. You did piss off the whole of Indonesia on TikTok. And then you talked about. One of the topics we wanted to talk about, that one being, Czech. And well done. For
I loved it. I was like, I need to do more of this stuff. Let's annoy the world.
Yeah, you're really, really good. We need to get, working on that a bit more. I need to be a bit more supportive as well of this, because I really love it. Love what you do with those. The BMW. What is that? BMW 1 Vision D?
BMW I Vision D. How about I show us?
It's an electric one then. Give me a second. I'll fill up the tank while we talk about electric.
Yeah, so I'm probably going to make a reel on this one as well, because I'm just like, oh, this is interesting. But let me share this with you. But it's quite an interesting car. Let me show the viewers as well. So the BMW i Vision D, it was a car that was shown at CES, so Computer Electric Show in the US, which is just like a big geek show. Everybody like gives you their latest new technologies, and here is our new VR, here is our new phone, here is our new graphics card, that sort of stuff. And a lot of automotive manufacturers have been getting in there for quite a while. Like a lot of them started off not with electric toys, but they were also started showing things like their in-car infotainment systems. And what they do is they'd actually start mounting their entire dashboards and interior consoles to show off the tech of the cars. And now that things are going electric, and Elon Musk has realistically changed what the perception of an electric car is. It's no longer a car as such. It's more of a piece of technology. Everyone's going there to show off their cars, and what we've got here is can you see my screen, man?
I can. This is one sexy car.
Yeah. So I've seen a.
It looks good.
It does look good. It hasn't got the buck tooth kidney grills anymore. It's got more of the old school style, and I quite like it because
My wife still has one of this. The buck
the
tooth.
bucktooth. But the thing I quite like about this car, and I don't know any specifications about this car other than the showy bullshit tech that we'll get into in a minute, but what this car looks like to me is an E30, but they took a belt sander to it. You know what I mean? Like they just grinded the edges. Like, where is it?
Yeah, but the hood is kind of yeah, okay. So but the hood is
Whoops. There we go. This car to me, it's like they took a belt sander to an E30 because it's got that like more linear sort of E30 style kidney grille. But the thing that's really interesting about this is the car actually changes color. You know, remember how they had that IX?
also they put that technology on this,
Yeah,
where
but
they can actually change the
But it's not just
color of the car.
yeah, but it's not just black and white. It actually changes color like completely. And you can do like crazy shit. And the thing is, it's like you can. I've got some other. On the
But
winds.
it reminds me more of the 2002 myself.
Yeah, well, that's true. It looks a bit like a
Yeah.
2002, but yeah, it's pretty interesting. I think the name is fucking stupid. I can't remember. I wrote down somewhere what D stands for, Digital Electric Experience or something like that. Introducing D. Digital. Where is it? I can't remember what they what it stood for. But when I heard it's called the iVision D, I just went there. Okay, you've given me some some fucking stupid like acronym that you've turned into a name, but reality, what it is, it's like I bet you this was Vision D was probably the name of some stripper in Berlin that they met when they were out on a business trip.
Maybe not in Berlin, maybe in Cologne at the Pascha.
Yeah, in Cologne or in Munich, there's a local strip club and they hang out there. And Vision D coming on stage now. Everybody, round of applause. And then they just called the car Vision D. So, but you know, there's let's see some other stuff. You know, I kind of think
I like the headlights. You know, that's those you know, the headlights right
the
now, like
slashes,
the yeah, those flashes. It's what you have on the Mustang as well. I quite like that.
Yeah, it's quite cool. Like I think it's actually quite cool. I mean, of course they had to do the LGBT, the what is it, the lesbian, gay, bacon, tomato colors. You know, but I think there's, you know, this is obviously trying to show off what they can do. But you know, you can be really tasteful with it. I think that's quite cool.
That's nice.
That's I'm
Yeah,
like
I like
that's
it.
really cool.
But I really like the proportions. It makes me. It reminds me more of a you know, the M2 sort of proportions, which I think are kind of perfect.
Yeah.
It's quite nice.
Well, apparently,
I really like.
and
Why is there a Corvette in the background?
I don't know, but you know what the funny thing about this as well? Look, the front, their eyes, then they move. Like they'll follow you around. Like, because you can
Nice.
completely black out the grill or change the color of the grill as well.
Mm.
So I was like, okay, that's interesting. But
Slightly pointless,
Yeah,
but let's see
I mean-
what applications they can find out of this
yeah,
later.
but I mean, I look at this sort of shit and I'm just like, okay, that's a fun gimmick, and that's what makes everyone go, wow, oh my god, BMW, woo! But the reality is, I'm also looking at this going, like you said, I'm like, actually, that's quite cool. Because it's kind of got like the M4 hood. You know how it's got the nostrils at the top, like these bulges? I quite like that.
Mhm,
That's
mhm.
quite cool. I like the proportions of the car. Like,
Yeah, I love the proportions of the car. As I said, for me, it reminds me a bit of a yeah, or of an M2
yeah.
or a Peugeot 505.
It's supposed to be a 3 Series replacement. That's what they're saying. I mean, the rear end to me looks a bit like
Oh, is it gonna be the 3 Series? Oh, so that's a huge deal for
Yeah,
them
yeah.
then.
So I look at the rear, and that's a bit '90s Alfa Romeo, if I'm totally honest.
Oh, yep, yeah. That's right.
But
Reminds us of a 159 or
yeah, but
something
I
like
mean,
this.
I think looking at
Also,
where was it? This I look at that profile. I'm like, that's quite cool. I think
it is extremely cool,
it's also a bit.
but it reminds me of the Mustang, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah.
Again, perhaps because of those headlights, but yeah.
Perhaps, yeah. But I mean, I mean, you sent me that meme of what was it, that if what you what is it, you kiss your ball? I can't remember what the name was.
Look, that's the men who drive electric
Oh yeah.
cars like to be
So
kissed.
it was
Yeah, that's the way. So then there's a woman carrying the guy.
yeah. It's it for those wondering.
Let me see. I don't think it's gonna work if I show it from my
I'm
phone.
showing it from the phone now as well. Yeah.
Yes.
So it says how dudes that drive electric cars like to be kissed. Quite
Yes.
funny, but
Yeah.
the one thing I do like about the electrification of vehicles these days, even though it means that we are,
Instant torque.
well, there's that, but one of the things I do like about it is, for some reason, instead of just going, well, we'll just design a car and make it electric, which in my brain I just thought everyone would have done because they were making really pretty cars already, a lot of these companies. They've just gone, we'll just go crazy. And they're coming out with shit like this, and all these other electric cars that are just looking wild and futuristic and all that. And I go, you know what? Great. Be crazy with your design, because you know what? For 20 years, car design has been the most absolutely boring thing. Like, I'm sure you've seen that meme of all the like cars. What is it? What full drives look like, and they all look exactly the same. Like on side profile, you can't actually see what they look like, like the difference between them anymore. Because
You can't
yeah,
tell,
yeah,
yeah. I kind of well, I agree with you overall, but I do have to say, when we look at that iVision, it is actually extremely traditional.
yeah, it is. I mean, it's not a pretty car.
It looks like a sedan.
Wait,
I,
which car? The new one, the stripper.
the new one, the one you
Oh
just
yeah, yeah.
showed,
That
that iVision D. I think it
that
looks
ho- that
great, but for me, it is the same recipe as what we've seen, for the past 30 years. It's got 4 wheels. The bonnet is longer. The boot is
yeah,
shorter. We've got also that A pillar. I mean, the B pillar is kind of wiped. I'm not sure whether there's going to be a B pillar or not, but it looks very much like. Again, you said it looks like a 3 Series, a
yeah,
E30, and if you put them side by side, just the shape side by side, there's no difference.
yeah. I mean, there's a bit of
So
modernization, but
for
yeah,
me, the bold move was, again, and you mentioned Tesla earlier, but the bold.
yeah,
Not that I
yeah,
like it. I'm not debating whether somebody like it or it's beautiful or not. I'm not saying, but this is a bold. It is like, okay, what we're gonna design a truck. This is what needs to be there. So you need that flatbed, blah blah blah.
yeah,
But then let's throw everything else out the window and start from scratch.
yeah. And I kind of, and yeah, like it. That's the thing that I'm enjoying about the new electric cars, is just that in order to get attention of consumers, and it's kind of signaling. It's like, oh, I didn't just buy an Avanza or a white good. You're now seeing cars that are starting to look. Well, it's to say, hey, I'm electric, therefore I'm allowed to be a little bit more garish, which I quite like. I mean, even you've seen the new Prius has come
Yeah.
out, and I've gone, even the new Prius is actually, I go, oh shit, I never actually say that I thought the Prius was good looking, but they've actually managed to make it like a good looking car.
Yeah, it's getting there. They took a lot of the DNA from Lexus for this to
Yeah,
happen, but
true.
yeah,
That's true.
they finally made it look at least half
Yeah.
decent. But how long did it take them? You know, the one brand that I'm used to, bringing out ugly cars that actually get better and better looking with each iteration is Porsche.
Yeah, true, true.
Remember the first Cayenne, the first
Yeah,
Panamera?
it
Oh,
was not pretty. Was not pretty.
those were painful to look at.
Yeah,
And then just with the second version, third version, fourth version, it just kept on getting better and better looking.
yeah. I mean, until now, it's like people are copying them. Like the amount of copycats of Macans and Cayennes is is crazy. And but who started it all? I mean, I think the one company we have to thank, well, whether you want to say thank or whatever, for all of this is very much Mercedes-Benz, because they started it all with the M class. There was no GL, C, E, whatever, or S back then. It was all M class or ML.
The LM002.
Yeah, but come on, that didn't catch on. It is a novelty car that people like, right? These days, and see it as a collection, but it like nobody actually bought it, did they? What did they make? Like 20 or 50 or something? Some insignificant number.
Sylvester Stallone had one.
Did he?
And I'm gonna check the numbers.
But yeah, I mean, these days we all look at it and go, "Wow, that's so cool." But back then, everyone was like, because
328.
okay, 328, very limited.
I'm sorry,
production.
it's six and a half times the number you just said.
Yeah. Okay. But you also have to remember,
in my view, it was a successful car.
Yeah. But the market back then was not SUVs. It was sedans, and a lot of British crap, like Leyland stuff and whatever else. It was all that kind of shit. And but now I think most cars that are sold are SUVs. I mean, even I have an SUV. It's
There. Yeah, definitely. And I think it's actually electric is going to be a great addition to SUVs, and especially those guys who like to do those, those really hard kind of parkour, and because the thing is ground clearance is a big thing, right? When you're actually going off-roading.
Yeah.
And since now with electric motors, you can have it in the wheels.
Yeah.
There's no need for any axles or anything anymore. So this is gonna revolutionize, the way. At some stage, when somebody comes up with something clever, that you don't need the ground clearance of new cars, electric cars, potentially will be, really, really enhanced with this.
And it's funny with the aftermarket industry, because they're really going to have to think hard about how they manage to survive. I think the only aftermarket industry that's going to do well is the wheel side. Wheels, body kits. So, and then the big one,
suspension.
The big one
possibly.
is going to be suspension. That's the big one. They're the ones that are going to be like, sweet.
And definitely tires.
Goodbye turbo companies. Goodbye this, that, and the other. It's just like
turbo brakes. Companies
because the cars are heavier now,
because,
so people are going to be wanting upgrades.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to change pads on a Tesla apparently anymore, right?
Well, because
oil companies,
all that torque vectoring and shit that used to be done with the brakes, and now it's done with the electric motors.
Exactly. It's for regeneration and things like this. So you're right. When you think future, those companies better have a plan to up with new products,
and let's put it this way: it's not like they're going to disappear that quickly.
No,
but they are realistically going to need
they will become
more niche than they are now. You know what I mean? So
yes.
Anyway, it's not my problem to work with at the moment. So but there's going to be some interesting.
No, but it's good thinking. Those companies, yeah, won't have the same market. Actually, they might be, marketed out. Actually,
Yeah, and see, this is the other funny thing as well. I mean, because some of them became really successful, like Akrapovic, with exhaust.
Akrapovic, Grady.
Yeah, to the point where they became OEM on cars. You can get OEM Akrapovic exhaust, greedy. No, not greedy. Fucking turbo brand.
Grady turbo.
Yeah, they were
Grady
yeah,
turbo.
they became OEM on cars, all of this shit, like white line, white line will be fine, like with bushings and sway bars and stuff. But man, it's, they're just going to become like, people that try to manage Model Ts. And they're either going to have to work on a way to consolidate or something because, these deadlines are approaching fast.
Yeah.
And the whole electric conversion thing is another popular thing that's happening too.
That's a good business to get into. Actually, that would be a good business to get into.
Yeah.
Keeping the whole drivetrain, but just having, an engine where you can change or replace the actual, atmospheric engine.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Like in some cases. Like, there's cars where the engine is worth more than the rest of it, right? Like a Porsche 911
Mustang.
Yeah, or the 2.7 RS, the original, the 911. The engine's worth more than the car. Like, obviously, the car as a whole is worth a lot, but if you want to sell the engine, it's worth more than everything else in it. So, you're always going to have cars like that. But where you don't want to...
Yeah, but those are unicorns, yeah.
Yeah. But, fuck, man. Like, there's cars where I'd be like, I love the look of this thing, but it's fundamentally a hunk of shit. Like, a lot of the old Mercedes, I love them.
Mustang.
Yeah, or old Mustangs.
I'm kidding.
I really love them. I genuinely do. But the problem is, like, they got these crappy automatic gearboxes that just suck and nobody really cares about the engines and whatnot. And I look at them and go, I'd love a badass 190E. And in my head, I'm like, I've always wanted to do this. And it's like, the only way to get one of them being cool on the road is rip everything out of them, put a fucking LS3 in it, and then cosmetics. But you look at it and go, hey, if you could get the LS3 power without all the headaches, if you just electrify it.
Actually, exactly. And so again, like even though I was making fun of and sent you that meme, I still think that electric is the way forward because it's got so many advantages. The only problem that I have with it is that it makes cars so much heavier.
Yeah,
where suspension then comes in, and then of course tires as well. But
and that comes into a broader discussion about things like, okay, people are talking about, oh, good for the environment, and it's like, I can understand why you're saying.
Oh, no, I'm not talking environment.
Yeah,
I'm not talking environment now because this is just such a much bigger debate. I'm just talking performance and enjoying and loving cars.
Yeah. So, but it truthfully is amazing, the electrification of cars, because I'm loving what it's allowing to be done with car design. Like that, let's take that stripper, the BMW stripper. It looks the way it does because you don't have an engine in it anymore, right? So because you've basically just got like a skateboard with two motors, or even one motor, I don't know how they're going to configure it. Everything on top is kind of free as long as you've got like, the crash protection and all this other crap. So it means you can have like a short bonnet style car that looks like an E30 throwback, get the proportions right without having to like make a car that's so blown up. And you still meet all the crash regulations because it's like, well, you still have what's under the hood, nothing. So you can hit it.
It's this is one huge area, like in terms of the design of the car and everything. It's just good, and it's going to be good also for cabin comfort
Yeah.
and space.
Yeah.
But look at, and we were just I've been talking about the upgrade industry,
Yeah.
let's say the tuning industry and all of this. Yeah, they're gonna have to really look into doing things. But what I mean is of maintenance as well.
Mm.
You know, those cars they barely need anything done.
Yeah.
They have so few moving parts, you know, so few systems to fail. So yeah, hopefully, it's not hopefully anyway. The battery industry will continue to improve the technologies and things like this, and we'll be able to have
Yeah.
cars that can make 100 or 250 horsepower, but only weigh 900 kilos and have
Yeah.
a driving range similar to what we have now, but
Yeah.
a charge time that is also similar to what we have now when we fill up a
Yeah,
tank.
yeah, and that's the other thing, because there's a lot of interesting charging technologies out there, like energy density. I don't mean just in terms of just energy storage, but in terms of like transmitting. Like I'll use phones for example now. Like you've got that Xiaomi, is it Xiaomi? Yeah,
Xiaomi,
that phone with 100.
what is it called? That
It's
thing?
got a 120 watt charger, and it charges your phone in 10 minutes or something ridiculous like that.
Well, it's 15 minutes from 0 to 100, but yeah, always have at least 20-30% left. Yeah. So yeah, 10 minutes.
So it's I think that's so cool. But the funny thing about it is there's also so that power brick that you have is quite big. But you think about it, that's 120 watts in something that's this big, right? Remember when 120 watt laptop batteries, the chargers were huge? Like just giant bricks. And the other thing as well is like
they're still
they
quite
are
big.
still quite big. Like even the 95 watt thing, or the 60 watt thing I have for my work laptop is still like bigger than this, And it's just like, why? I don't get it. Because now they have, the gallium nitride technology. So I bought some gallium nitride chargers for travel. Bro, like it's like in something smaller than this little headphone case, right? It's literally smaller than that. I get 60 watts out of something that small. Like it's so cool that technology. It's so that now they're bringing it like it's gallium nitride sort of. I don't know how they do it. They get AC in and DC out at a particular wattage, and I'm like, that's so cool. All they're going to have to do is scale that up, and you're not going to need these giant fucking things. You can install them anywhere, basically at any power point then. So that sort of stuff is quite cool. I mean, we're getting very far away from the passionate side of cars, but I mean this is more a technology discussion for sure.
I don't know. I was watching today this Misha Sharudan, right?
From Nürburgring.
Yeah, from Apex. Yeah, then he was in Croatia to try the Rimac. And seriously, I'd like to have a go at that car. It's insane the performance that's possible with electric power. So not just I'm excited about it. But yeah, let's switch gears and you sent one topic you wanted to touch on the Tate cars.
Yeah,
who is Tate?
So Andrew Tate is an online influencer, and he's very boisterous and whatnot. Some people find him controversial, some people don't. But the thing that I found, he got a few charges pressed up against him recently, and personally, everyone that's come out against him and charged him and all that, I've looked at it and I'm gone, what you're saying doesn't really have legs. So it sounds like a bit of a hit job. But the thing that was quite interesting is they actually seized all of his cars, and he has something like 33 supercars. Now he lives in Romania actually, and from what we can see is, I'm going to go blah, blah, blah. But in Romania, he's got some cars in Romania, some cars in Dubai. But he's got like a Bugatti Chiron Pure Sport as well. And
I
Romania.
mean, how much does this guy make? He's just an influencer. That's his full-time
Oh
job.
no, he's got a lot of other business ventures. He's you know, he's actually valued it up to $1 billion now.
Okay.
He's made that much money, but he's just got like, you know, he's got like Renspeed Porsches, you know, Bentleys, everything. He's got, maybe there's a photo. That's his Bugatti Chiron Pure Sport, and this is one of those.
Oh.
This is one of those things as well, where I'm just like, it. I hate to get political, but you know how governments just take liberties to just take your shit. You know, like remember when the whole Russia-Ukraine war started and they just started seizing properties and yachts and cars and assets of Russian millionaires and billionaires? I was just like, why can you do that? What? I don't get
Because
it.
the government has that power. I mean, I don't know if it's in every country around the world, but every government, for example, has the right to claim, you know, if you own land, the government has a right to claim
Yeah,
it.
I just think that's crazy. I just
No, it's the law. It's like this, you know. In many countries, it's like this. I know in France, it's like
Yeah.
this. They have to pay a fair value for it, but essentially they can force you to sell it back to them.
yeah.
And it's, you know, it's exceptional cases, obviously, and things like this. But you know, and nothing would get done unless the government had that right to do this, especially when we're talking about, let's say, doing you know, a train, you know, or building a highway or something like
yeah.
this. Yeah.
And
So,
and
but yeah, property like cars and things like this, yeah, that is a little bit different, I guess. But
because I look at it and I'm like, so what does anybody actually own then? If somebody can just, it's like saying if the US went to war with some random country and another country, like say where I live, didn't like it.
But why was he arrested though? That guy, what did he do? I mean, he's a misogynist. He taunted Greta Thunberg.
yeah,
I
the
mean,
sake of,
I like the guy.
yeah, I like the guy as well. I'm like,
I'm kidding.
you know, a lot of
I just don't know.
a lot of
I don't know him at all.
people are you know, a lot of people dislike him. Let's put it that way, and because of that, you know, and I think a lot of people disliked him because of his delivery. You know, the way he, you know, he says things is very boisterous and all this other crap, but it's like, man, it's not for you. It's not content for you. Like if you can't handle like outlandish, bombastic sort of content or way information is delivered, whatever. But he's very strongly opinionated. But I'm not going to get too much into that because I don't really want to get striked by YouTube for having a conversation with words I'm not allowed to use. But offline, we can actually go into it more. But the only reason why I brought this topic up is I'm like, man, imagine having, you know, working hard and then because you happen to work for a certain company or that is based out of a particular country, like we can just take your shit. I'm just like, you serious? And I know you're saying, oh, we shouldn't be surprised, but it's just like, I am surprised because
that's not what I'm saying exactly. I you know, I agree with you as well. It's always, you know, kind of daunting to know that the government could come in and get everything you own. But he probably did something for this to happen as well. And for me, you know, when we're just drawing the parallel with the Russian oligarchs who are essentially the ones supporting the Russian regime, at least economically, but yeah, a lot of also with money, with everything. Yeah, they should be held accountable for what's happening there as well. So it's for me, the debate is more about accountability than what you cannot own. So at the end of the day, yeah, if he did something that was illegal, and he gets, you know, some of his assets seized as a result, it kind of goes in the right way in my view.
Because I've heard a lot of other stories, like people have. For weird, like some countries are really like strange with what they do. I know there's people that have had like tax issues in other countries, and instead of just going, oh, let's clarify it, they just immediately start seizing property and this, that, and the other. Like, I heard this one story about a guy in Mexico. There was some misunderstanding about the tax. There was nothing illegal there, but what ended up happening was they seized his house. They clarified the tax issue in like a month, saying, "Oh, okay, sorry, we made a mistake," and then it took him 10 years for them to give him his house back. Can you imagine that?
Okay.
Can you imagine shit like that? So I look at it. I look at stuff like this. Let's say this Andrew thing blows over, and let's say this Russia Ukraine thing blows over. Well, countries just stole. Like I consider that stealing, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
no, I mean, obviously they are cases like the one you just mentioned. Yeah, of course, there's some abuses and some anomalies and things like this, and it's not fair. I agree with you 100%. However, if somebody starts whatever trafficking he was doing, or some oligarchs support a regime that is invading, another country, those guys, they have to be held accountable for what they've done. And I agree with you. It's like, everybody, in my view, should be considered innocent until proven guilty.
yeah.
And that's the essential.
And that's
rule
that's
here,
the funny
I
thing.
think,
Like,
for me.
I've
But,
been keeping a close eye on this topic, and like knowing what I know, it's like he got earlier last year raided for the same thing, and then in 45 minutes they went, oh, okay, and let him out because they just basically went, yeah, okay, this is somebody fucking around with you, and then 5 years earlier, somebody tried to do the same thing with him in the UK, right? And it was like, oh, yeah, there was actually nothing wrong. It was jealous ex-girlfriends conspiring to try and take him down, and it's just escalating more and more and more. And I just look at this shit and I'm just like, for a person that's public, if you're so deep in criminal activity, there's no way you would want any attention on yourself. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Well, there are people who don't make sense as well. But
Yeah. So there's too much in this that makes me go, this sounds a bit weird. And the other day I was watching some podcast from some, is an independent news channel, and they had a human trafficker, whatever, representative come on, and apparently was working with two victims or survivors of his and whatnot, and they read these statements out, and I listened to it and I'm like, the statements don't make any claims at all. and then when they pressed her on the issue, she couldn't answer a single question. And then they said, so how do you, when people approach you, how do you work with them? And her default answer was, I believe every survivor that I work with. And I'm like, so you don't have any conviction. You just blindly walk in and say, yep, we're going to take them down. And it's like, all right, this sounds a bit weird. There's like every time it's like somebody who's on the side that wants to prosecute, you go, okay, let's hear it out. Like, like you said, innocent to prove guilty. You want to hear all arguments. And every time you've got an argument against, it's like, there's holes through every argument. Even the BBC, or I think it was the BBC, did an interview with apparently one of the survivors who wanted to remain nameless and faceless. And so they're only showing like her knees and her hands on the clip, and she's recounting a story. And then it's just like he's like, she's like, oh, he had 5 bottles of wine and blah, blah, blah. And then his manager comes up and goes, I am 100 kilos. If I had 5 bottles of wine, which is 40 standard drinks, I would be paralyzed. He's just like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, so it's like and they try to make everything like super emotional because, you've got two sides of the argument where one side is going, okay, please give me facts. And then the other side is just feelings because they feel offended. It's just like, it's like, and you can't speak. It's you've got one side that says, I want facts because if something wrong happened, yes, punishment should follow, and then you've got the other side that's like, I don't care, just punish. And it's just like, but you can't give me any real argument.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Anyway,
yeah.
it's a complex case. Let's see what's gonna happen. I think you just opened the page. I mean, you did open a page about the cars that we're looking forward to in
Yes.
2023.
So we'll move on from there. But again, it was just really an open
Oh, but
discussion
let's continue following this.
Yeah, we'll keep following it. You know, in our I'm still sharing with you. I didn't realize. Sorry.
Future podcast. Yeah.
Yeah.
The future cars worth waiting for 22 to 25.
Yeah. So I thought let's have a look at cars that we should be looking forward to next year. And
that's the behind of a Volvo. That's a Volvo.
Is it?
Has to be a Volvo.
No, it's a Buick. You can see from the.
It's a Buick.
Yeah,
Oh, is it?
yeah.
I can't see. Yeah.
So
Okay.
this says future cars worth waiting for between 2022 and 2025. So let's have a look. The 2026 Afeela EV sedan. Afeela sounds like a sexual predator.
Yeah.
So
Um,
this apparently is a car that's being done, and it was actually shown this week at CES as well, next to this BMW. This is a car made by Sony and Honda. That's weird. Why does Sony want to get into mobility?
I love how Honda is. Yeah, they're just always trying to think out of the box. Yeah, but does this mark like kind of a trend? You were saying, Tesla established cars as being a technological fit every time. So do you think those alliances, strategic alliances, will continue to happen in the future? So between an consumer electronics company and a car company?
I think so, because at the moment, Polestar and Volvo
Yep.
no longer do any infotainment. It's actually Google does it all. And it's actually like an
Okay.
Android operating system that runs the car. So I think we're going to see that well into the future. And, actually you made a good point. Maybe it's more or less the consumer electronic sides making its way into the vehicles. But yeah, I think that's what we're more or less seeing here. 2024 Ram 1500 EV, something we'll never see in.
I love the lit Ram.
Yeah. I think they're a badass truck, but you've got the Ford
Yeah. Hey, look at those wheels.
You've got the Ford F-150 Lightning that just came out and people love it. But these cars are too big for even UK roads. They just don't fit, So, okay, am I excited? I think it's cool, but not so much.
I think it's cool and I like it, yeah.
The Volkswagen ID.7. That's interesting.
That's nice. So
Yeah.
we can see again here some cues about what we've seen with the BMW i Vision D, the a shortened but still, quite a long bonnet given the proportions and a short trunk, and the delete of the B pillar.
Yeah. Well, it's actually there, but it's blacked out. But yeah.
Yeah, it's just they black it out.
Okay,
so this
I think that's going to be a.
Make it look like it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. I mean, the I'm interested to see what that's like. The Acura ZDX, don't care.
We can't see anything.
Yeah,
I don't see why they put that picture in there.
Yeah. Kona Electric. Yeah, it's a consumer car.
Can we just go to the 2024 Ford Mustang?
It's there. Okay. Let's go through this list and then.
Yeah.
So the Electra, okay. These ones, yeah, I'm interested. Here's the thing, that Ioniq 5 or whatever it's called? That Hyundai four-wheel drive electric thing? Yeah. They actually Hyundai had a display in the mall that I live above. And I was like, okay, it looks like a retro hatchback, but just scaled up. And then I thought, let's get in it. I got inside and I'm like, I'm not impressed. Why does this car cost this much? And I got inside and I'm like, everything feels like it's out of a Lada.
Oh my god, that's bad.
Yeah. I'm like, so.
Have you ever got a ride in a Lada?
No, I haven't.
Yeah. Why did you skip the Mustang?
I didn't. It's here. I've
just did that on
opened
purpose?
it, but I thought let's see what you have to say once we get through this list.
Love that color for the Mustang.
Do not care. Definitely care. 2023 Ford GT.
Ooh, care a lot.
AMG S63. Of course we care about this.
That Ford GT is going to be a track focused, so track only car.
I'm not sure. Perhaps. Yeah.
The Mazda is interesting as well. The CX-90. Is that the replacement for the CX-8 or I don't know, mid-size SUV? That's funny. That's a CX-5 replacement.
Yeah, it
then.
looks like a Cadillac actually.
Mercedes S63, always interesting to look at. Lovely cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, just yeah.
Boring. That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, the little Volkswagen van.
Yeah,
is,
that's cool. Future electric vehicles. Toyota Grand Highlander. Okay. Great. It's all four-wheel drives. Oh, Corvette SUV. Corvette SUV. Now I'm very interested to see what a Corvette SUV is like.
That Buick and Vista. Sorry to interrupt you again, but that Buick and Vista just has a feel of a Urus and yeah, Urus.
Yeah.
And somehow
So that's the front.
Toyota A86.
The front end is a Urus. The back end is a BMW X4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
It's in between. Well done.
Corvette SUV. Definitely interested to see that.
They've got good photo.
Lol. Super Impreza.
So this is all electric. All those cars.
Yeah. Yes, I am 100% interested in the 500e, especially the Abarth version. That is so cool. I like that thing so much. You know what the funny thing was? Like, all the media was saying, oh, but it's like, it's slower to 100 kilometers an hour than the Abarth petrol. It's like, A, the petrol wasn't that fast. But because it's electric, it's going to be faster out of every corner. It's going to be with momentum a much faster car than the combustion version. So I'm really excited for that. There's the Prius. They managed to make it.
Prime.
They managed to make it look all right. Yeah, this I like. The Lotus
Another
Electro.
Urus.
It does look like an Urus, doesn't it? It really.
Sorry, yeah, but yes, it does.
It really does look like an Urus.
So yeah, okay. SUV, electrification.
Yeah.
That's the 2023.
Yeah, I mean, I think this
Direction.
article is talking beyond.
Like beyond, yeah.
but
Okay. Yeah, but that's where it's going.
but I like this. I think for Lotus, I think it's quite interesting. You know,
It's quite interesting. Yeah.
Honestly, I hope it does well because when. As much as people are going, oh, you're abandoning your heritage. I look at it and go, yeah, but these companies need to survive somehow. Nobody's actually buying a lot of Lotuses, but everyone loves them. So if you want to see, if you want to continue to see the agile light sports car that's really focused on the driving experience, they're gonna have to make money from somewhere. And well, here you go. Like there's a cash cow, So I am all for it. Like, I'm sorry, and people, there's another article, here that we can have a look at, which is more petrol focused. What are we looking forward to? The BMW M3 Touring. That's quite cool.
Let me. Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Always cool. And it's got the
It
black
does.
teeth as
But
well.
you know what? No one's gonna buy one. Sorry, nobody's gonna buy one.
In Europe, I think people will buy it. It's for Europe.
You know who loves these cars? Is car journalists. But nobody else will buy them because it's not an SUV. That's it. Simple as that. Nobody's going to buy it.
Oh my god.
What?
Because the Lotus.
Yeah.
And I beg to differ when it comes to nobody buys a Lotus. And I wanted to prove you wrong by buying one. It's coming in Q1 2023
Yeah.
in Thailand for just under 10 million baht. That's attainable.
Okay.
That's attainable.
Very nice.
And And yeah, I keep the Mustang.
Yeah, true.
No, I might just go for a test drive though.
Yeah,
if I
why
can.
not? Why not? I think
Rolls-Royce, that looks fantastic. It looks like the BMW 7 Series, the new one, but with only 2 doors.
yeah, I think Rolls-Royce is definitely, because this is their electrified Rolls-Royce, right?
Hmm?
This is definitely a car company that benefits from electrification. Because previously it was all about their V8s and V12s, you know, ultimate smoothness, but now it's just like, well, the whole point is you want, you know how they say the loudest thing in a Rolls Royce should be the clock.
Yeah.
You know, now it can be. It's like, who cares? We can ditch the fucking engine and you know, actually have an ultimate luxury machine, which is what they've always been. And electrification is the best thing for Rolls Royce, I believe.
Happening to them, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. That's a very handsome car.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Ooh, I like that too.
So I like the MC20 better. I think the
I like this better.
Really?
And you know why? Because it reminds me of the Quattroporte, the initial one with those, you know, bulged
Yeah.
side.
Okay.
This is one of the design cues I love about the SLS as well. Also those proportions. Yeah, I love it.
Okay, I'll buy it. I think, yep, you're absolutely right. I think it looks too similar like the old one. That's the problem. Like, they didn't do too much work to modernize it.
Yeah.
And that old one was stuck around for 12 years before they went.
But these are pictures of the old one anyway.
No, this is the new one. This is
Well, look at the exhaust pipes.
well, it's not electric. These are the actual photos. I mean, it's like a rendering, but
So we're not looking at the electric ones anymore. Sorry, I thought.
no. This is
sorry,
this is
I
this is a different website. I got bored of electric cars because it's all consumer goods.
Well done. So did I. So much so that I wasn't listening.
Yeah.
So, there you go. I was looking at the Emira. I'll ask my wife if she likes it.
A Hyundai Iconic 6. People like it. I don't.
I don't. It looks like a botched CLS.
Yeah. The back, it looks like a squash CLS, and at the front, it's
it looks
supposed
like an insect. Really?
Yeah. Something's
That's
not
what
right.
it looks like.
People are
Yeah.
journalists say they like it, but I'm looking at it going, I'm not too convinced. Like,
Ooh.
it's too much going on.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, and this one has got the wing, and that's probably the fact that they've got the wing on this one is because it's the sports one, right? Or
I don't know. It's
whatever
got like
top.
2 wings
But
on it.
even if you remove that wing to kind of break the ugly ass line you have at the back, it's gonna be even worse.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want this. I really hope we won't see this in the streets.
Yeah, yeah.
I hope nobody buys this.
Everyone's gonna buy it.
Okay, now that's sexy.
That's cool. And you know what? This is a limited.
That is extreme.
This is a limited
Super
production car, but I guarantee you, it's going to be the best driving Porsche. Because who gives a fuck? You can just crash it around and not care. You don't have to treat it like fine china.
Cool. Mm.
And then we've got this one, the Sterato.
Yeah. Again, I love looking at Lamborghini. I will never own one,
Yeah, I don't see myself owning a Lam.
and not because I cannot afford it.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm a bit like, I don't know. There's just better cars. I'd rather a Porsche.
No, but they just insist. Yeah, that's it. Porsche, Ferrari. This Lamborghini is just too. They just insist on having that flat screen, and then you can't see anything out
Yeah.
of
I
them.
mean, I totally respect everything that they do. I think they're a cool looking car and everything.
Oh
but-
yeah, I love them. They do look great, you know. But it's just the
Yeah.
practicality.
All right, so let's get to what you've been waiting for.
Ah.
Did they change it enough to be interesting?
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
You know what? But
The overall shape is still the same,
Yeah.
and it's always going to be the same. But the hood is very different. The headlights are very different. Yeah, the grille. Yeah, all of those is slight design cues that have changed, but they're quite significant when you look into
Yeah.
it. You know.
I mean, you know, and it's funny. It looks like that RTR style nostrils at the front has become integrated into it.
Oh man, don't RTR, please. I want to get everything from them, and I want to modify my car a bit. And oh yeah, the back also is quite different. I'm not sure I like it. I like my current one a bit better.
Yeah.
I think because between the headlight and the exhaust, that part is too fat.
Yeah. Yeah.
But otherwise, yeah, quite nice. The wing is very nice.
Hmm.
So yeah, RTR. It's like I want to order like about $2,000 worth of spare parts, right?
Yeah.
From RTR, and that include that LED grill, obviously. But the thing is, it's $2,000 of parts and $2,500 of shipment.
Jesus, that's
So I'm like, no.
insane.
Of course, Alfa Romeo all
Yeah.
day.
Everyone says, "Why would you want this?" It's actually quite a quick car. But it's like a mid-size or small SUV.
To fall apart, you mean?
Yeah, quick to fall apart. Yeah. Then we also have Dodge has got the Dodge Hornet which realistically, it's this with a different fucking body kit on it because they're the same company. So there's that. What do you think of this? The BMW XM.
Okay, I'm gonna be very, because as you know, I'm a bit of a BMW fanboy, right? Go like this. The thing is, BMW. Remember we're just talking earlier about some brands putting out, like new cars out that look ugly, and then they just improve them over time.
Yeah.
Again, prime example.
Yeah.
The first Panamera, the first Cayenne, they look butt ugly. Now BMW come up with a car, or bring out a car that will look ugly, but then will grow on you over time. So it's the complete opposite.
Yeah, I think the problem with the XM is they said this is our celebration of BMW, and I went, really? Of BMW M, and I went, a four-wheel drive, an SUV is the celebration of M, is it? I was confused by it.
Okay, no, but all that bullshit put apart, just looking at the design, I love the headlights. I love the smaller grille. I hate the LED around the grille. I like the front, but when you look at the bumper, those kind of shoulders coming to the front like this, like a mustache, doesn't look good at all.
Yeah, I honestly, at first I was pissed off because they said, how can you celebrate the M BMW Motorsport Group with this?
Yeah.
But then I looked at it as a car, and I'm like, you know what, bro? This is actually not a bad looking car.
It takes a bit of time. I don't like the LED around the
but
wheel.
the new
I like those
7
wheels.
Series has the.
I don't like that. Yeah. Those headlights I love.
I think it's a really cool car.
The headlights.
Yeah, I think it's a cool car. I quite like it.
I'm not sure about the surrounding the side windows, like that thing. Yeah. I'm not too sure.
I mean,
about this
they're just design signatures, but I actually quite like it. I think it's quite cool. I think it's quite a cool car. Not often you hear this.
I think it looks better in black. I think you need to. The color is going to be important on that.
Yeah, because I mean,
Actually,
this is it in black, and then you also have it in a blacker black. There it is in white, blue, black again, red. The red's actually quite striking. Hello.
Nice. Yeah. So you need a good color combo, and this works well with gold as well. Actually, I must say.
Something X-rated is happening off camera right now, and I'm very distracted.
Sorry, but we would probably should wrap it.
Yeah, let's have a look at wrapping it. Yeah, so my camera is frozen anyway, so it's not a big deal. So, here we go. Yep. Okay, cool. We're back. Yeah. So, yeah. Do you want to call it there? I think there's an interesting review of things to look forward to. I think the trend moving forward seems to be everything is an SUV, everything is electric.
Yeah, I think that sums it up. That seems to be the trend, isn't it?
Yeah, and you know what? I think the other thing we're gonna have to be mindful of is we're gonna get some surprises along the way, and I think we're gonna see some probably quite exciting, sports cars coming out that haven't been announced. So that's what I'm going to be looking forward to, because right now it seems that we're looking at only consumer products, and that's not that exciting. I'm trying to get excited about, yes, the XM is cool and blah, 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 but is it really what I want?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Anyway,
I know what you
let's
mean.
call it there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's
Thank
do
you,
that.
everybody, for watching another edition of the SA Wheels podcast. Quite a sensible one this time, but Happy New Year, everyone, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.